Hey guys, Raccoon City Pizza here. So today I wanted to make a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. I just didn't quite know how to really put it into words, and I still am kind of having some struggles doing that. But today I wanted to go over the whole reason why I am a big Resident Evil fan specifically, and why as a grown man I have such a big passion for this. So as adults, we have a lot of struggles in life. We wake up, go to work, we take care of our families, and it can be tiring sometimes. Whenever it comes to things like entertainment, whether it be a book you like, or a movie, or in this case, a game, it can help relieve stress. It can help let you just relax and pretty much travel to a place where you can just enjoy a fictional world for a little bit, get away from the real world, and relax, essentially. But that's with any piece of media. And I think that everybody here can agree with that in any form. But whenever it comes specifically to Resident Evil, and the reason why I have even tattoos all over my arm here of the series, there's a lot of reasons. So the reason why I decided to permanently, for the rest of my life, have a tattoo right here of my favorite game of all time, which is Resident Evil 4, is not only because I like the game, it is a video game, I understand that. However, to me, it's not just a game. First of all, it's a game that got me through a lot in life. Life was hard around the year 2005. It was a big change in my life in general as a child, and it changed the trajectory of my entire life from that point onwards. But that game helped me, even as a kid, to go away somewhere and be happy. And later on, my childhood best friend and I, we bonded over that game so much, man. I can't even put into words how many hours we spent hanging out with each other and just having a good time. And whenever it comes to me being an adult, ironically, the remake of the game came out in 2023, and in 2024, my ex-wife and I, we divorced, and it was a very very hard time for me. And the remake of that game kind of did the same for me in a way. I would turn it on, it would kind of let me just relax and kind of relieve some of the depression I had at that time. So I don't want to idolize it. I don't want to make it seem like that's the only reason why I got through hard times in my life, because it's definitely not it. Um, but I think that it's underestimated how things like that can really follow you throughout your life. Because whenever I see this tattoo, I don't see just a piece of media. I see a product, a thing that has spoken to me personally. And whenever I do play this game, and whenever I do turn the system on and experience this again as an adult, even though I did, 20 years ago, it's almost like time travel in a way. Not in the sense to where I feel like I'm a kid again. It's not really quite like that, because you can never be a kid again. You're an adult, and that's that. And I think that you should never try to be a kid again as part of being a grown adult, and especially being a grown man. However, whenever I play this game, it doesn't just remind me of childhood memories. It reminds me of sitting down in my mom's house and hearing birds outside. They always used to be outside my window, for example. Or it reminds me of my deceased grandmother whenever me and my cousin used to play this in a spare bedroom. And used to go outside and play and even pretend we were in the game. You know what I mean? So it doesn't just remind me of the game itself. It reminds me of my grandmother's house, of my grandmother's land, of literally specific trees that I used to play on and climb and whatnot. Now, of course, I have memories of my grandmother herself, obviously, because my grandmother, she helped raise me in a lot of ways. She taught me a lot of things I still value and keep in my life today. But whenever I play this game, it's a gigantic, just accumulation of memories that flood into me. and it makes me happy. And of course, as an adult, again, with any piece of media, it does help you escape and just kind of chill for a little bit. But that's why I got this permanently on my arm, because it is not only something I like, but it is a memory, and to me, kind of a testament to my grandmother, my childhood best friend, and even my mom, of having the ability to have a game system for me to play on. And it really, really does just bring out a lot of appreciation as an adult for all the things that adults from my childhood allowed me to have. And it to me is a form of inspiration, basically. And even if it comes to things like this big ugly monster on my arm, again, I rewatched the second movie of Resident Evil a million times because I fell in love with this guy right here. And of course, I fell in love with the game that he's in. But the fact that, let's be honest, okay, to all the parents out there, if a kid rewatches the same thing a million times, a cartoon or whatever, it can get kind of annoying. Of course, you're happy that your kid is happy. But as an adult, you're thinking, oh gosh, here we go again. We're going to watch this movie or this cartoon for the millionth time. And my grandmother did that for me, and my mom as well. I was able to sit there and watch this movie with this guy in it and be happy as a kid. Because, I'm 27, I'll be 28 next year. And people of my generation, you should know that whenever you were a kid, there was no internet, really. There was some, but not much as there is now. So if you were bored, it was movies or cartoons or going outside. So whenever I wanted to have entertainment, I would watch that movie. And I'm sure a lot of you can probably, identify with that. Same thing with cartoons, books, whatever. But my grandmother, admittedly, was probably very, very annoyed. But she still let me enjoy something I liked. So, to me, even though that this tattoo does have a lot of meaning to it, like Nemesis is kind of a representation of PTSD, for example, for the character of Jill Valentine in the third game, and I have experienced PTSD myself throughout my life. This is also kind of just a reminder of that as an adult, especially if you do have children, to be patient, basically. And again, whenever I look at my arm in the mirror, right here or right here, it is just a gigantic memory, and it's a huge time travel for me, basically. It doesn't mean I'm stuck in the past. That's not what that means at all. The past is the past, and you learn from it, and that's what makes you who you are today. But at the end of the day, because those things make you who you are, I think it's important to respect that, the good and the bad, keep in mind. Because if you don't respect and you don't remember why you are here, where you are, then you can lose a lot of appreciation for yourself and for the people around you. So, I don't really have much to say, but, a lot of this I think is something that people that don't identify with these type of things may be confused about can maybe even understand a little bit more, and those who do share similar things like my story here may be able to recognize as well. And I hope this video was maybe a chance for you to kind of think back on your own memories. So I don't really have anything else to say. Hopefully I was able to kind of explain things well in this video. If you have any memories of loved ones or just your memories with not only Resident Evil, but just anything in general, put them down in the comments below, man. That's the entire reason why I do YouTube, just to talk with you guys. So that's it. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed day, and I will see you all in the next one.